Hey everybody, welcome back to Game with Knock. I'm Nocter, your host. If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. Please do hit subscribe so you can find out when we got new videos coming up. And if you're a repeat visitor, hey, thanks a lot for coming back. So this is the Sunday Morning with Knock edition, which is just kind of a general chit-chat. No real format. I just talk about things that I'm finding interesting in the community or what might be going on. This weekend we had clan games. And the Divergent Void clan did them, and as usual, we managed to go all the way up to the top tier. I have to say this one was a little bit of a letdown. I was expecting more, kind of like what we had last week, and the top was 5,000 points, and the prizes, the rewards, really aren't that great. They're okay. I don't know. I think Supercell is kind of copying off what they did with Heyday. They've got this thing called the Derby on Heyday, apparently. And maybe we won't be seeing quite as great a series of rewards as we did in the last couple of clan games. But yeah, I guess it's all right. It's a little bit of resources and one potion and a book of building, which I don't really need because I've already got one. The kind of downside of this, and here I'm at Town Hall 11, the resources aren't that much. To be honest, I could get this much in resources off of just a couple of raids. I mean, that's for everything, and I can only pick one out of each column. So I hope they kind of start giving away a little bit more, because aside from the potions and the books, the amount that we're getting in resources just doesn't make it really worthwhile. I don't think a lot of players are going to put in the real effort if we see more clan games like this one with these kinds of rewards. But, on the bright side, just about everybody did participate, and it's always fun going out and doing these little challenge events. I enjoy them nonetheless. So, I got another war going. We had our first war as a new clan with our new members last week, and I went ahead and started another one, especially with the holiday on Monday here in the U.S. for MLK Junior Day. A lot of people will be home from work or school, so might be a good opportunity to run another quick war. And we'll probably run one later on in the week as well. But we've got 3 of our top our Town Hall 11s in this one, and then 2 Town Hall 10s and a handful of Town Hall 9s, including 2 that are rushed and below 2 of our Town Hall 8s. After that, we've got nothing but Town Hall 7s. So that's kind of our lineup for this clan war. And if you've seen our Town Hall 11s in the past, they're not weak, but they're not like full blown maxed out Town Hall 11s. We're not one of those maxing clans. We're a rush clan, and we just play to enjoy the game. Our opponents, though, they might be a little more into it than we are. Taking a look at this, they've got 3 Town Hall 11s. They're number 1, they're number 2, and then we get a couple of Town Hall 10s. Before we come upon this guy. This is their number 6 player below 3 Town Hall 10s and 2 Town Hall 11s. First of all, I think it's pretty obvious this guy really, really likes his walls. Okay? I mean, he's got all the level 12 walls in there, and they're all put into a nice arrangement. Obviously, he's waiting for that next batch of level 12 walls to come out, which we probably will get in the next month or two if Supercell continues with what they've been doing. And take a look at his heroes. Level 20 Grand Warden, a level 4 or level 50 Archer Queen, and a level 49 Barbarian King. I mean, this guy's heroes are stronger than any of the others who are higher than him in the rankings. He doesn't have the Pigeon, so there's that. He does not have an Eagle Artillery, and he does not have his Inferno Towers. And I mean, I guess that's, part of the engineering. You keep certain things low, or you don't build certain things to make yourself come in a little bit lower ranked. When you take a look at his offense and his profile, he's playing strong where it counts. I mean, he's got max witches, maxed, Barbarian and Archer. That's probably just his go-to farming strategy. But he's got max witches, max bowlers, and max Valkyries, as well as max healers. Jump spell, rage spell, poison spell, and free spell are also maxed. So you can kind of see where his attacks are probably going to come from. I think I'd be very surprised if we didn't get a bowler witch combo out of this player. And when I went through some of the other profiles, I saw much the same thing in the other profiles as well for their high level players. Getting back up to their number 1 and number 2. Take a look at the number 2. Now he's got bowlers, dragons, and lava hounds maxed. So we got a pretty good idea what's going to come out of that one. Take a look at number 1. Again, bowlers, lava hounds, dragons. I think I got a pretty good idea of some of the attacks we're going to see out of these guys. I'm sure it'll be interesting. It should be a good time. It's always a good time. I really enjoy the idea of wars. They've got 4 Town Hall 10s, so a little stronger there. Only 2 Town Hall 9s, and then a boatload of Town Hall 8s. So our Town Hall 7s, a lot of them are going to be fighting up against Town Hall 8s, which could be a bit of a bummer. You know, when you take a look at some of their Town Hall 8s and just to see the strength of them, they've got something like this, which is really, it's not strong at all, so this should be no problem for any Town Hall 7. But it doesn't stay weak like that for very long. I mean, here we got level 5 air defenses, and it's gonna be a little tougher for some of the dragons to work their way through. Continue to move up. You know, you can see that they've got stronger air defenses, which you want to have when you're at Town Hall 7 and Town Hall 8, because Town Hall 7s will just wipe the floor with you if you don't have strong air defenses. Same thing here. He's got some other structures that are getting up there. So, I mean, the 7s will do okay with, I think, the first few of these, but I think they might struggle a little bit with their dragon attacks around this point. And I think at that point, I'll probably pull in some Dragaloon, or maybe even Hog Riders and Dragons to hit a couple of these with. So we'll see how that comes out. We'll have a recap on the war here in a few days after it's over with, and we see how well the crew does. On our side, we've got a fair number of players that are in here. You can see, you know, my accounts are in there. Obviously, I usually throw in 15 or 20 of them. We got a few of the new guys that are playing in here with their games. 1 or 2 guys decided to sit out. I think they're working on like their heroes and that. So it'll be an interesting war. Taking a hop over to the builder base. Here we go. Got a couple more level 6 walls done. Woohoo! I have another set of attacks to run tonight, and I'll be working on more of my builder hall levels 6 walls. On my troops, they're all maxed out, and I am just tickled pink because now I can try any of the attack strategies, and I have been. In fact, I've been doing a lot lately with Raged Barbarians and Cannon Carts. I've got it to where I can consistently get between 65 and 75%, which is actually not too bad for me when it comes to ground attacks. I was talking with a number of the guys not too long ago. I tell you, let me get a couple of replays going here. We'll start off with this one, which is a lower level attack, but it's mass beta minion. And when we talk about air, and this is something I've been talking with some of the guys in the clan about, because we're largely finding that air is the place where most of our guys are, especially at the higher levels, because ground can only do so much. But with air, you can start using it at Builder Hall, I guess technically Builder Hall 3, but really Builder Hall 4 is when the beta minion starts to come into its own. And a lot of players will max out their beta minions early on and then just use that as their key troop all the way up into Builder Hall 7. It's what I did, and it works out really, really well. Here you see one of our guys is just cleaning up the player grid here, game grid, with nothing but mass beta minions. And it's really neat when you get to the higher levels with this. I mean, he's only got level 7. But when you get up to, say, level 12 and 14, you've got 50 that you can put on the game grid at one time. It's a blast to watch all these beta minions completely and totally demolish a base. I mean, it's really cool. Yeah, we'll do another one here. I talk about kind of taking your mass beta minions to the next level and coming in with just 2 dropships, 1 camp of dropships. And you can do that. I recommend starting no higher than level 2, which is what you see is happening here with Roy Gold. And the reason for that is because at level 2, when they drop, you get that big burst, that skeleton burst. At level 1, you don't. But really, these lower level dropships are just tanks. That's all they are. They're not really offensively strong as attackers, if you will, until later on when you get more skeletons dropping and a stronger skeleton burst. But at least here, you can use them very effectively, just 2 of them, to tank against things like the roaster or the firecrackers, even against things like the both air and ground shooting targeting defenses such as your hidden Teslas and archer towers. So it's a very effective way of using what would otherwise be viewed as a weak entry level for a troop, namely in this case, the dropships, as a very, very effective tank for your mass beta minion attack. And as always, you come in afterwards with your battle machine to do some cleanup, and we'll let him get in there and knock out these last couple of structures. And I got one more from Roy Gold that I'm going to show you. Same attack, uses mass beta minions with 1 camp of dropships, and we get, of course, the same results, the same 3-star results. We'll go ahead and get that one started right now. There we go. This one's a Town Hall 7, of course. When you get one of these bases where you've got things all spread out like this, just go in with your beta minions, drop 1 on each one of them, or drop 1 in between them if you think it can hit both of them, go to one and then the other. But then you come in on your weak side, in this case where the roaster is, drop down a dropship ahead of those beta minions so it'll get up there and tank for the beta minions. You don't want the roaster to be taking out your beta minions. But the first one goes in, it does its tank. The second one comes in behind it and takes one. The first one drops. And in the meantime, your beta minions get up there and they proceed to take out the evil that is the roaster. With these anti-bar bases, they have multiple compartments and have the box around the builder hull like you see here. You've really got to make sure you get your beta minions in to take that out. You don't, excuse me, voice going dry here. You don't want to have that builder hull standing at the end because you can run short on time and your battle machine will have to break through those level 5 walls. Not a fun thing to do. But as you see, the mass beta minion portion of the attack does its job, takes out the builder hull, takes out most of the key defenses that are within those individual compartments. It'll even get this double cannon here, because there's nothing that can touch it, of course. And the battle machine just, does a little bit of cleanup around the outside to clear it out for the 3-star 100% win. Of course, it wouldn't be fun if we didn't show some of the higher level minion drop attacks. Here's one that I'm running on my Nocterra account. I've been going back and forth on whether to go in with 4 or 6 of the dropships. And I'll tell you, most of the base designs, I can get to the roaster fairly quickly. So I have been more inclined to go in with 4. If I can't get to the roaster quickly, if it's pushed too far back and I'm not going to come in from the opposite side, or if I find that it's right next to the air bombs, in those cases, I'll typically send in 6. And the reason for that is because it's going to take a little bit longer for my beta minions to get there, or they're going to encounter a little bit more resistance. So I want to make sure that I give them as much support as possible, as much tanking as possible in the form of those dropships. And they do present, from an offense perspective, a viable offensive troop with the skeletons that they drop, as well as with the skeletons that come out of the skeleton burst. And don't forget, you get a bit of a blast when they drop on top of something as well. I've seen these dropships actually take out walls, which is kind of cool because that makes it real easy for the battle machine to get in and to get in charged. It's nice to take him from kind of a distance away if you can, so that you can hit his ability, and then by the time he gets up and starts using it, he's just a little bit away from being able to hit it again. Always useful. Because Von Nock doing much the same here. Different kind of base, one of these 4 corner bases. Still went with the 4 dropships. Just coming in, got just enough time because the roaster's within 3 rows of where I deployed the attack. But you can see it's got such a reach. And those dropships sometimes don't get in there quite as fast as you would like them. And you end up losing some of your beta minions in the process. Other times they will path okay. Like, that last one that just kind of scooched over there from the side. And you'll come out of it looking pretty good. But At any rate, it will be another successful attack, and we'll go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit. I think you guys have seen a couple of these. You might know how it ends up, how it works out. The battle machine, biggest problem for the battle machine, of course, is that giant cannon. If you can get it out of the way early, that's always like double bonus dollars. And then dealing with double cannons as well, especially if you don't get either of them and they're like on either side of the builder's hall. That can be a real bear to deal with. I've lost, well, I don't say lost, but I've not gotten my 3-star on a lot of attacks because of those double cannons and the way they're positioned around the builder hall, such that, you know, I can't quite get into it because of them. Okay, and that's our episode for today, for Sunday. Be working on a couple more. We're going to have the Clan War recap here in a couple days, and I am working on the base design 103 to talk about things like traps and mines and hidden Teslas and where to put them for the maximum effect and what to be thinking on with that. And we'll have our Builder Hall 7 base review here in the next week or two as well. Thanks a lot for sticking around to the end, and I will catch y'all on the flip side. Keep on clashing. Bye-bye.